All right, we got a brand new loot crate called Ethereal Tides. So it's kind of like a jellyfish theme and a jellyfish TRON bike. That's definitely, like, before we get into anything, that's definitely that's a TRON bike, right? Here, view. That is a TRON bike. Okay. I mean, it's very colorful, that's for sure. Alright, so full disclosure, I have a friend who has already gotten everything in this pack. They want to stay anonymous, but they are willing to help showcase everything for you guys. So, I don't really have a major incentive to pull unless I want the stuff myself. And I'll be honest, this outfit she's wearing, it's pretty sexy. Except for the veil. I'm not a big fan of the veil. It's kind of weird to me. I think it's probably something that a lot of people will like. It's got like this whole jellyfish theme. So, you know, that's kind of my overall thoughts. Like, when we look at it as the guy version here, I do like the animation and the music and all the stuff that they're doing with this. It feels like they've definitely amped up the marketing, that's for sure. The male version, I'm not a huge fan of it. I think my biggest problem with both outfits, it's less of a problem for the female, but for the male, like, you can't like remove these things, and the body piece is actually one thing. So like, it's both the chest and the legs. You don't really get an option on that. So I'm never a fan when the loot crate items are not detachable. Like, I understand why, like, it's a suit, right? So it makes sense, but I'm never a fan of that, because I always feel like I'm getting one less item and I have less ways to mix and match. Now for the female outfit, I'm just gonna show you kind of what I'm cooking here, because I think there's a good way to make this look better. Alright, so obviously the first step was just putting my mask on, so that made it better immediately, right? But yeah, no, the previous set a while ago, the Mayfly set here, these like tendrils in the hair, they kind of just go really well with the whole theme. And like, I'm sure you could probably slap on, say, like the Mayfly goggles with it as well. So those are both from that one set. It just kind of fits. So like, I actually like this look better than I do the full set on its own. So if I were to get the set, I'd probably go with that route. I think this is pretty sleek, slender, and pretty sexy, to be honest. And as for the bike, my opinions on it is, like, I mean, it's kind of like a TRON bike. I think personally, I'm not really into these colors. I think it's really pretty and all that, and I'm sure there's a lot of different people that are going to like this. But specifically for me, it's just not really the color schemes that I like, and I wish there was, you know, a way to change the colors on it. That'd be kind of cool. So if you're brand new to the channel or to these loot boxes in general, this is how it works. You use real money via this Christian currency to do pulls on the banner. Every 20 pulls, you are guaranteed to get a gem. The first 10 pull is 50% off, so it's only 800 Christian. It's normally 160 Christian per pull. You then spend those gems to get these collection items, and anything that you pull that becomes a duplicate, you'll also get these relics. Now, relics can be used in here, as same with the gems, to actually buy things directly. So the things that are not in the collection are purchased via relics, and these things can be purchased via relics or gems. And then as you pull, you can also see in this thing here, you have your statistics. So essentially there is a 7% chance to just pull a Lightforged gem, a 0.32% to get one of the legendary items, and a 0.68% to get one of the epic collection items. All the rest of the statistics are in the random, like, lower end stuff, so you're most likely going to be getting those. But the gem chance is pretty high. So overall, I'm going to throw a graphic that I always throw up onto the screen here. So this is the quick math based on your chance at getting a gem. It's basically a coin flip every 10 pulls. It is a probability math guide, so it's not that it's actually stacks, you know, it's still 7% the whole time, but the probability of pulling a gem within 10 pulls is roughly a coin flip. Sometimes you'll get more, sometimes you'll get less, but it's basically evens out to roughly a 50% every 10 pulls. Now at the 20 pull mark, again, it is a guarantee. So that's kind of where we're gonna base all of our next math, which is the worst case scenario. So the more pulls you end up doing, the less chance you're gonna hit the worst case scenario. So if you're actually looking for everything on this banner, you're looking at a grand total of 22 Lightforged gems. Yes, you heard me correctly. If you didn't catch it, they increased the price on this banner. The skin set is now 4 instead of 3, and the bike is now 12 instead of 10. I cannot believe that they've increased the prices on this, and it's really hard to try to stay optimistic and like I can't be happy about that. It's a price increase. You guys don't want a price increase. I don't want a price increase. Here's the worst case scenario math in the event that you somehow, going for 22 gems, actually manage to hit pity, so you have to end up doing 20 pulls per gem. This is the math. Now just remember, you're going to be getting duplicates and relics on the way, so again, this is basically an impossible scenario, especially if you spend the relics on these items. But we always like to show the absolute worst case just to warn people, and that's where we come into my usual gambling warning. This is a gambling system, so if you are a younger person or somebody that is vulnerable to gambling, just stay away from this system and just, you know, go have a look at the showcase at the end of the video to see what all this stuff looks like, because here's where we come up to the next part. Usually this is where I would do a bunch of pulls if I'm interested in the banner. I talked about how sexy this outfit is, but it still doesn't really fit my style. I'd be happy with getting that outfit. But everything else on here, you'll see in the showcase. I think the Spirit Echo Desert Eagle is actually really cool. It's another one of the weapons that has a lot of effects, and like it shoots like plasma ink and stuff. The bike it's pretty cool. Some of these other things I don't really care about personally, but it's still just like between the price increase, I don't really want to like throw my wallet at the screen for this stuff because it's not like extremely my style. I'm just gonna YOLO it with a single 10 pull. Let's see what we get, guys. Maybe we'll get lucky and just get the set. I know I'm not gonna get the bike, so we're gonna aim lower and see, did we get anything cool? So fortunately didn't get anything cool, and that's basically just how it happens, right? So I'm sure people were looking to live vicariously through me again, because this is a lot of gems needed. But guys, you saw my graphic, you saw the math. I don't want to be part of that worst case scenario for something that really, it's not really my style. If it's your style, you know, go for it. I think a lot of people are really going to enjoy this set, but I'm not really one of them. So without further ado, we're going to move on to the showcase, and that's probably what most of you are actually here for. And again, I did have a friend who wants to stay anonymous provide us with the ability to record on their account to get all of this footage. So we have the Afterveil bike here. As you can see, it is very TRON inspired, I would almost say, but once we get on, you can hear that kind of, it's almost like a TRON whirring, and like the bike, it just feels so inspired by TRON. But once we start moving, we get that even the light bike like light field behind, but then when you get up to speed, it just has this crazy effect with like the jellyfish tendrils, and everything kind of lights up, and it's got sound effects and everything. Let's see what happens when we jump. It's pretty much the same. And if we do a little spin, yeah, I mean, it's definitely really cool. So we'll try to get a couple different angles here so that you can kind of see really what you're buying into, but just keep in mind it is a very expensive cosmetic, so this is definitely not for everybody. But if this is your style, they've definitely did a good job on it. I just don't know if I can spend 12 gems on this. Let's see what happens when we pop a wheelie. We gotta make sure that we do some donuts on this thing too. Alright, next up we have the Ethereal Glimmer set. So now that the game allows us to equip standing animation poses, these are these standing animation poses now. So this is going to be in addition to my loot crate videos, because there's a bunch of extra stuff that we have to show off. So you can see that she now stands all, you know, elegantly, and she has the little jellyfish stuff happens. You'll also notice that there's like sound effects kind of happening around her when she's doing the standing animation. Kind of got like little bubble noises, you got the little jellyfish. Alright, next up we're going to do the actual Ethereal Glimmer command. So this is what used to be called, you know, an idle action, but now you can use it whenever you want. And two unique things for this this set here is whenever you're walking around. So if you kind of sprint, you can see the water footprint effect, basically. It's like water jelly, and that is unique to this set. And then additionally, if you jump, a couple little jellyfish kind of come out. So if you're running and jumping, you can kind of see them keep popping out. And you can also do it with arrow leap, and because you started with a jump. So yeah, I mean, overall this set, it's pretty sleek. It's kind of, I mean, it's got a lot of sex appeal to it, that's for sure. And there's definitely a lot of pieces that, like the boots and stuff, I think you could very well put with other sets. So next up we have the Spirit Echo skin for the Desert Eagle 50 cal. So before I actually show it in game, I just want to point out that there is accessories that do change here. So if you've got, you know, your silencers and stuff on it, it's got like a long attachment and a short attachment. And this one's kind of like the no attachment. So we're gonna go with the long attachment. It might look a little bit cooler. And then you have like the iron sights versus any of the reflexes. All the reflexes end up looking the same. So tactics wise, there's the nothing here, and then you can add on a laser sight and the tack light. So the tack light makes it nice and bulky, so we'll kind of look at that. The magazine does not actually affect the appearance though. Alright, so you can kind of see it here in the game in camera mode. It's actually a kind of nice looking gun. So just a heads up, this is a Jaws, so it's going to explode every now and then, so we'll see kind of what's going on between that. So it appears to kind of shoot ink blots almost. And it's got a bit of a, it's got some sound effects. And here it is again without a suppressor. So it's definitely got a lot more noise without the silencer, but it's got bullet effects, like a bullet trail effect. And whenever it has an impact, it also does like this purple ink stuff. Alright, so we'll do the reload animation real quick here. So we're going to try to catch it from the side. So it's got sound effects, it's got some like tendrils come out of it, so we'll just reload here. Yeah, you can see the tendrils. And we'll do one more in first person view. Nice. Alright, while we're in first person here, we're going to do a weapon inspect. It's a pretty sick weapon inspect. And one more time. I like the little, you know, the twirl of the gun. So this one's the Bamboo Territory Collection. It's got kind of like a water wheel going on there. Oh, and there goes the bamboo shoot. So it does actually have some animations to it. That's actually, it's pretty cool. Then we have the Ascend Together Duo Emote. Now, somebody told me that this is like directly ripped from Fortnite. I don't know, so let me know in the comments. I have no idea. And here's the Skyrend for the SOCR. This is also a collection item, but it's only a purple. So normally the purple ones don't really have anything crazy going for them, like extra animations and stuff. But I did notice that this one has like this kind of black cloud coming off of it. So I just wanted to make sure that we kind of test when we're shooting it. So, and actually, yeah, it's, if you look at the end of the barrel there, it's actually kind of like showing off black ink at the very end, and there's kind of like the swirl happening. So there's nothing else special that I found here, but that's definitely a lot cooler for a purple collection item than we've gotten in the past. The Summer Party Hairstyle Pack. It's a very floofy hair for the female. The Lost Goldfruit Cradle Charm. I think it's a play on like the Apple of Eden, maybe? The Barbed Rivet Top. The Deluded Hacker Mask. Actually kind of looks cool with my helmet, but we gotta stick with the OG mask, that's for sure. The Weapon Charm for Blackhole. The Weapon Sticker for Infinite or Infinity, depending on how you like to pronounce it. And the Weapon Sticker for Prism Stance. Both of them are metallic again. Can we get some non-metallic stickers? I've been asking for it for like forever. Alright, now we have the Water Pump in Olive Green. This is the first in a series of olive green kind of water-based things. Here's the Water Filter in Olive Green. And the Brewing Barrel in Olive Green. Almost makes it look like a modern keg instead of like a normal brewing barrel. Then we have the Cozy Stage Emote. I think this emote actually has an infinite loop built into it. Not many of the emotes actually are infinitely looped. The Black-White Checkered Shorts. The Starstep Sandals. We finally have Crocs in the game. The Facepaint for Cupid's Arrival. It's, I'm not sure why it's called Cupid's Arrival, but it looks like... It almost looks like we like ran face first into a star. And last but not least, if you get all of the collection rewards, so there's 6 of them this time, and there's quite a few, you'll get the Avatar Symbiosis, the name card for Future Cosmos, the theme for Future Cosmos, and the avatar frame for Future Cosmos again. So as usual, I hope this video helped you decide whether or not you wanted to purchase the Loot Crate. Luckily for me, I had no impulse to get it, so I got to not spend all of my money for once. And with the mobile release having just come out, if you're a brand new player and you're looking for any help, I have a bunch of new guides that I'm going to slap on the screen on the left-hand side right now. And for more Once Human videos, I have my playlist on the right. Man, am I glad that I'm not a huge fan of TRON.